let's say that you put Trump in jail on charges of insurrection. You wouldn't say, okay, let's do that, but let's never give him a trial.
Well, you wouldn't have to. For the insurrection thing, you don't have to.
Well, no, he's saying for a criminal charge. I mean, you can't charge presidents with
criminal
crimes
charge, yeah.
anymore. So yeah, like I would never say that. But like the worst thing that I could say, right, is that like, oh, I think the next president should just order assassinations of every single Republican
Yeah, I was gonna
lawmaker,
say, that's
and that
legal.
would be something that is
Remember?
explicitly protected by now the Supreme Court. You can't like they could impeach him if they want, if there are any of those congressmen left alive, I guess, after the president flexes his newfound powers. But like that would be a thing that's like fully and completely legal, more legal than what the Trump admin is doing now. So it's just a pointless
But
legality.
would
Doesn't,
you ever advocate for that?
well, I don't know, but it would be fully legal.
Well, I understand, but you wouldn't advocate for it, is what I'm saying. There is
Would I
there
ever
is a sense
advocate
of
for it?
morality that you do. Well,
Where-
okay.
I mean, where-
at this
I- just to
exact
be-
at this exact
At this exact moment,
at
this exact moment, no. And I love you, and I'm not accusing you of doing this. I'm not okay. But like as Americans, we tend to just like super not give a fuck about other people being tortured and murdered and drowned and killed in other countries because it's just based and they're brown or they're south of the border, whatever the fuck. But like we are murdering Venezuelans. We're just murdering them in their boats. We're murdering people with no declaration of war in an area where we're not authorized to do indiscriminate strikes or whatever, and then we're killing people who are floating in the water afterwards. That's just a level of insanity that is just so far beyond the pale. And it's like another day. 10 months in. Yeah. We're like 10 months in. It's just, or 11 months in. It's like crazy.
I'm Venezuelan American. Like this, like shooting of drug boats with no fucking legal justification at all. And notwithstanding, like just a few months ago, for like 4 months, just random Venezuelans that came over legally were fucking thrown into a El Salvadorian gulag with no charges, no crime committed. They were just in there. And the only reason they were let out was because the administration got fucked enough by the public pressure that they had to release them.
I do.
It's literally it.
One thing before I go, all these people that say that Trump can do these things within the legal bounds, you should just, anytime they talk about immigration and Biden letting people in and all that kind of stuff, he's able to do that.
But they never. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of my debate, is that they never go by what he's legally. For the Democrats, it's not what you're legally allowed to do; it's what you're morally compelled to do. And then for the Republicans, it's whatever is within the bounds of the most outer perimeter interpretation of the law. That's how they always do it.
But Hobbit, before you go, how far would you go? I mean, even if everything was legal, would you use it?
I would. So I've said like, on multiple occasions, like I think one, we should stay within the bounds of the law for sure. Like now what that means as far as how far you can stretch it, like if Trump, let's just say, doesn't pardon somebody in this administration, like let's say he's about to do all the pardons on his way out, we know historically that Trump's not going to have this same cabinet through this whole administration. He might, but like let's say Kristi Noem or somebody gets tossed out and he doesn't pardon them, we should go after that person 100%. We should go after, if he pardons his whole cabinet, we should go after every person that was underneath those people. I'm just in the belief that they're probably going to pardon everybody, so we will have to figure out whether it's through state charges or, through some sort of military charges for like stuff that Hegseth does, like whatever it might be. Like I'm fully into us getting super, super creative. But I do think that just jailing people with no due process whatsoever, like I think that's legally wrong and against the Constitution. So
if your bound is the law, then, it's legal to, president has criminal immunity. That's what we just brought up, assassinations. Sure. That's legal, right? Is that what you're saying? Or
Well, not, no. Right? I personally, I don't think that we should be. Well, just because the president is immune from that kind of thing doesn't mean that I think that we should subject people to have to do those things. So, like, morally, I am against assassinating people, but there's.
It's not really justice. I mean, I think actually the death penalty is not. Okay, I'm being a bit of of a European in this regards, but I actually just don't. Dying is not the worst thing, but being in jail is the worst thing, right? So, I mean, it wouldn't be very satisfying to see him, hung.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well. So is that old style? Like electrocuted or injected or whatever your favorite way is.
You want to go old style? They did some stuff in France, I heard, a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
Well,
but
Yeah, I
make sure
mean,
it's sharp enough, otherwise you have
earlier,
to.
earlier, Hobbit, you talked about like, oh, they're not doing this stuff to American citizens. I know of a attorney who's in his like 70s who works in a bankruptcy court, and he got on the wrong side of a judge, a federal bankruptcy judge, and that judge made some phone calls, and that guy ended up in an ICE facility for 2 weeks because his client turned out